Big Brother, mainstream media, government cover-ups. You want answers? Well, so does he. He's Alex Jones on the GCN Radio Network. And now, live from Austin, Texas, Alex Jones.
Willie, before we go to some calls, and again, the number's 1-800-259-9231, I want to hear your ideas for solutions or ways to stop this war. Willie, any other ideas you've got to try to stop this attack on Iran?
Well, first of all, I think impeachment is good. We have to do that to get people to realize, hey, these guys are bad, and we have to stop them before they do. And they're thinking that we won't do it. They're thinking that they have plenty of time between now and Election Day to do what they already have planned to do. Whether we can stop them or not, I don't know. God help us if we can't, because once we bomb Iran, then all hell breaks loose. America is not the same America as we knew it the second afterwards. And not only that, we will bring down hardships not only ourselves, but people all over the world, not to mention just the price of a gallon of gas. Right now it's $4 or $5. It's $10 over there in England. It will be much higher.
Well, you're absolutely right. And for those that don't understand the globalist mindset, it's problem, reaction, solution, or order out of chaos, as Bush has said in speeches. And they believe by getting us into a crisis so bad that, and where our military is being defeated, and that's probably going to happen in the first stages, just like they invited the Japanese attack and ordered the ships and planes to stand down, and that's now been declassified. They plan to get us into a war that's so bad that a lot of Americans are going to say, well, I didn't support the war, but damn it, we're in a crisis, and I got to get behind George Bush. And then he may end up being like FDR and just staying in office. And I think that is a real threat that we face. I mean, it's not just Alex Jones or Willie Nelson. Mainline analysts are talking about $8, $10 gallon gas, martial law in America, and they've now put that on the books.
Well, yeah, now one of the things that's being stolen most out there these days is gasoline. Farmers have to watch their tractors. People are stealing gasoline because it is so damn expensive, and it's down to push and shove. They need a gallon of gas to get from here to there, and at some point people will do anything. And when it comes down to food, that's the next thing on the list. They'll do anything to feed their family. So we are in for some tough times.
And then we have to try to somehow educate the public that they have orchestrated this. I mean, I have the banking documents. You have them. You've been fighting this since before I was born, where the banks, well, you grew up, with your family being farmers on a farm in Texas, pretty close to where my family's from on my dad's side, and everybody knew back then they were predatory. How did they train Americans not to question the establishment and not to question banks? I mean, when did Americans start losing their sense, Willie?
Well, when they started controlling the media and when they started telling us from early morning till late and dark how well things were going and how things were fine and we shouldn't worry about a thing, that, Big Brother's taking care of us. And now we see what Big Brother was doing. While we had our backs turned, he was taking over, stealing everything that we had.
And now they know that we're waking up to them with Congress with a 9% approval rating for the first time in U.S. history. And so they're trying to put a police state into place so that we can't have a counter-revolution against their revolution. We're not the revolutionaries here. We just want our country back. Willie, do you have any message to the people in government, to the police and others, about some of the things we're going to be facing in the near future? I've had state police calling in saying, I thought you were nuts, but now the feds have come in and told us, yeah, get ready for martial law, and you got to do what the president says. Do you have any message to them, Willie?
Well, except that we have to just, there's no magic words that I can say that will stop it, but I do think all of us together can figure out a way to combat it and keep it from being as bad as it could be. I think if we are aware of what's going to happen, that will keep it from having such a great impact that it would if we were just sitting around blind, not knowing that anything was going to hit us. At least now we can try to block it one way or another.
I agree with you. That is the key. If you expose false flags, self-inflicted wounds, government-sponsored black ops, then it takes the power away to where they can't stage it anymore. And if you discredit the current system, then it loses the people's acquiescence. They have to have you to go along with it. Doesn't mean you have to go out and physically fight them with a rifle. It means you just have to not go along. And basically, in a lot of cases, to the police and military, just sit on your butts. Don't go out and kill innocent Iraqis. Come home. If they set off a nuke in Chicago and then try to bring in a national draft, as McCain has said, this is going to go on with McCain, or probably Obama. You have to then realize that that is a staged event and not go along with it. Willie?
Yeah, you're absolutely right. And I remember hearing a long time ago, say, what would happen if they started a war and nobody showed up?
Absolutely. All right, I want to take some phone calls, and the House switchboard, again, is 202-224-3121, 202-224-3121. Ask for the chairman of the House Judiciary Committee or ask for other members of the committee. Later in the show today, I'll give you all their names, and I'll even give you their direct lines, but those can be busy. The switchboard has hundreds of lines. It generally isn't. 202-224-3121. Call them and say, look, it's on record. They admit that Bush committed all these crimes. They wrote memos saying they could order the troops to torture children. There's no debate. Vote for impeachment, and they can't blow up every congressman's airplane. The answer here is all of us to say, look, we know what you're up to, shadow government, and just come out with your hands up. Attention, criminals. The game is over. Willie, your take on that statement?
Well, I think you're absolutely right. We got to let them know that, hey, you're caught. We found your hand in the cookie jar here, and there's certain consequences involved there. First of all, you get voted out, and then we'll decide what else to do to you. But you are wrong. You made a mistake. You broke the law. You have hurt our country. So there are consequences for that.
And for Americans out there on the fence about all this, you got a bad feeling in your heart. Intellectually, you know we're in deep trouble. You know we've been telling you the truth on this show and many others. Things are getting more and more serious by the minute. It isn't going to get better going down the same path. We've got to change course now. And a lot of people want to try to over-intellectualize it and say, well, then what's the specific action? It's just getting your heart right, getting your mind right, and saying no.
Yeah, from this moment on, you just have to say, okay, maybe I went along with their stories up until now, but I'm not going along with them anymore. You've lied to me once. That's too many times. Absolutely.
Let's go ahead and take calls. Ken in Texas, you're on the air with the one, the only, the living legend, Willie Nelson. Go ahead.
God bless you, Alex and Willie. I have two quick points. The first one, I want to tell you how grateful I am, Alex, for you advertising Shailazine. I feel like I'm 34 years old now, like you. And the most important point I want to make is any congressman that doesn't support or vote for impeachment for the ones that we're speaking of should be fired and put out of office. I mean, because they're very well aware of the same thing that we're aware of. It's come to the point that this is extremely serious.
Well, just looking at this politically, it would gain the Democrats incredible political hay and ensure their victory across the board if they would do it, but they won't. That's because they're scared, they're blackmailed, or they're on the take. Willie?
Well, you're absolutely right. There's one of those reasons, because they all know that they could stop it if they wanted to. Obviously, there's reasons why they don't want to, and I'm sure you hit on one of them.
Anything?
There's really no excuse.
Absolutely, Ken. I appreciate your call. Adam in Texas, you're on the air with Willie Nelson.
Hi, God bless you both. And Willie, I've been a part of your life for since 1973, and from 3 days in Atoka to Austin to Panther Hall to the Sportatorium. Thanks for all the nights you've given us, and we really love you. And I was born and raised here in Texas, and I'm going to be moving out of here next month, and I'm going to go north and go up into the mountains and see what happens. And my heart's pretty sad right now, and but that's what I'm going to do.
All right.
Hey, I think it's I'm glad you remembered Atoka, because you remember how dusty that was.
It was fantastic, though. They had that path mowed down through the forest all the way down to the festival, and the music was fantastic. The sound was incredible. That was a great 3 days, Willie.
Well, thank you. I was wondering if I was going to have trouble finding the location and the set, and I was driving down the interstate, and I looked over to the left, and a few miles over there, I saw this huge dust cloud. I said, "Oh, that." I think we found a toka.
All right.